Chapter 6, Mishnah 1. This Mishnah discusses a person who designates an animal to use for an Asham Talui and then finds out that he is not obligated to bring an Asham Talui. Someone designates an animal to bring as an Asham Talui since he suspects that he committed a sin punishable by Kares. It then becomes known to him that he definitely did not sin and is thus exempt from bringing an Asham Talui. If he discovers that he is innocent before the korban is slaughtered, the animal may go out and graze with a flock of ordinary chulin animals. That is, the animal has no sanctity and is considered an ordinary animal. This is because the owner consecrated the animal on the assumption that he needed it for an Asham Talui. Now that he no longer needs an Asham Talui, it emerges that the animal was consecrated mistakenly. The consecration is thus void and the animal has no sanctity. These are the words of Rebbe Meir. Another opinion. But the sages say, although the animal cannot be brought as an Asham Talui, it remains consecrated. When a person designates an animal for an Asham Talui, he intends to consecrate it no matter what happens. Thus, even if he finds out that he did not sin, the animal remains consecrated. Accordingly, it is treated as an Asham that is not needed. The animal is left to graze until it develops a blemish that disqualifies it from being brought as a korban. It is then sold, and the money from its sale is dropped into the chest in the Beis Hamikdash for donated korbanos. A third opinion. Rabbi Eliezer says the animal should be offered on the Mizbeach as an Asham Talui on behalf of its owner. Although he does not require an Asham Talui for the sin for which he designated this animal, nevertheless, everyone can be presumed to have committed some sin. And if this korban does not come to atone for this sin for which it was designated, it will come to atone for some other sin that he committed and does not know about. The Mishnah now discusses a person who finds out that he does not need his Asham Talui after it was already slaughtered. If the owner's innocence became known to him after the Asham Talui was slaughtered, but before its blood was thrown on the Mizbeach, the korban cannot be offered, since it is no longer needed. Accordingly, it must be disposed of as a korban that is invalid and cannot be brought. The blood is poured out into the stream that flows through the temple courtyard, and the meat is taken out to the place of burning where it is burned. If the owner's innocence was discovered after the blood was thrown on the Mizbeach, the korban is valid and thus the meat is eaten. An Asham Talui is valid as long as the owner is unsure whether he sinned at the time that the korban provides atonement, namely when the blood is thrown on the Mizbeach. Accordingly, if the owner discovered his innocence after the blood was thrown, the korban is valid, and its meat may be eaten by the Kohanim, as with any valid Asham. Another opinion. Rabbi Yossi says even if the owner's innocence is established while the blood is still in the cup in which it was received after the slaughter, and was not yet thrown on the Mizbeach, the blood should be thrown on the Mizbeach, and the meat should be eaten. Rabbi Yossi holds that as soon as the blood is in the cup from which it will be thrown onto the Mizbeach, it is considered as though it were already thrown on the Mizbeach. Therefore, if he finds out that he does not need the korban after the blood is already in the cup, it is as though he finds this out after the blood is thrown, and the korban is valid.